Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to actually improve as a rugby player and get better. So I'm going to be having three main points of discussion today, and let's just get straight into the first point. So the first thing I'm going to recommend to everyone who's watching this video who actually wants to get better at rugby is to actually just play more rugby. It sounds very simple, but there's a lot more to it. So for me personally, I was only playing university level rugby, so playing one game a week and training maybe once or twice a week. But I would say if you're able to, get involved with your local club and play with players of vast different levels of experience. Play with players who are your age and similar experience to you, but then also play with players who have been playing for 20 or 30 years, because you're going to learn a lot more by playing with people who have a lot more experience than you, rather than people who have a similar level of experience to you. This is because you'll be exposed to different things that you may not have been aware of before. You're going to pick up new tips and tricks, especially if it's coming from a player who plays in the same position as you. And generally, more game time under your belt is only going to be a good thing for yourself and your own individual skills. The second thing is sort of looking at the externals off the pitch. I think something that gets overlooked a lot by a lot of rugby players, especially the younger players who are coming out of junior rugby. I'm talking like under 16s, under 17s, under 18s, that Colts level kind of rugby, going into adult rugby, is the externals. So looking after your sleep, making sure you're getting in at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Looking at your nutrition, I'd say eat whole foods, try and prioritize protein when you've had heavy sessions within the gym or training sessions, and then look to obviously have carbohydrates when you need to, especially before games, as you're going to need energy on the field. And then also in terms of your training as well, for the younger guys, obviously training in the gym may be limited in terms of how much weight you can use depending on how old you are, but then to the older guys, I think it's very important, and it's also overlooked in terms of having an actual structured program rather than just going in the gym. And I'd say a lot of guys sometimes just throw on weight depending on how they're feeling and not having structured sessions, which actually is looking to get you to a far-term goal. People are kind of going into the gym nowadays with just based off how they feel, and if they're feeling good, they'll put on a lot more weight than what they would be doing if they had a not so good feeling walking to the gym. So get a program, get a coach, do what you need to do, get your training in check, and make sure that your externals are also all ticked off, and you're definitely going to see a lot more beneficial factors when it comes in terms of looking at your performance on the pitch. And then finally, I'd say is have a reason why you want to actually improve. For me personally, I wanted to make sure that I was consistently getting named that starting 15 for my university's first 15 squad. But for you, it might be different. You may want to be looking to play the whole game. You could be a player who's only playing 20 minutes off the bench, and you want to get into that starting side, or you want to go from the third team to the second team at your club. Whatever it is, you need to have a reason why. You need to set a goal in terms of what you want to achieve, and then you need to also have a plan in terms of how you're going to achieve that. I think it's very important to remember as well that rugby is a team sport. It's not an individual sport, so there will be factors that are out of your control in terms of performances on the pitch as a team, but in terms of your own individual performances and seeing an improvement in your skill set, the factors I've mentioned in today's video should be able to help you. And I'm going to look to, in the future now, in the upcoming videos that I'm going to post, really nail down in detail in terms of the things I've spoken about today, but then also additional things and new ideas I want to bring to my channel. So with that being said, guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do subscribe, as we're on the journey to 300 subscribers for the channel, and I'm going to look to constantly grow and scale. So if you found it useful, please do subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much.